Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Om Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Yesterday Papa has been hammering, as to what should be the mental attitude while taking to Ramanatha. The prayer of Haridas Ji Maharaj also should well up in our mind. We have no other sadhana except Ramana. So our whole concentration is how to effectively make it. Whatever may be our discussions, our sharing of ideas, thoughts, this should not be lost sight of. Because for all our problems, the remedy lies in linking ourselves to Him through remembrance, and that remembrance is facilitated through chant. For all our problems, the only answer is to somehow relate ourselves or our thoughts, our wills, our deeds, our concepts, our doubts, our conflicts, everything relate to Him. That is possible only, common sense says, that is possible only if we remember Him. And remembrance can be had through chanting. This should be very, very clear. If this is clear, whatever that is happening outside, on the surface level, reactions will be purely based upon this only. Everywhere we will be able to bring the damage. We have no other topic. We have no other topic except to somehow dwell on God remembrance. And carry on with whatever duties that have been assigned to us by Him at the three tiers of our life, namely family, profession and society. This should be always reminded. Because of my old habits, because of the pressure from the outside, I may. Why I may? I normally sleep, So we keep on trying like children when they try to get up. How many times they struggle? We don't remember our childhood days, but we can see the child rolling. By perseverance, one day, yes. At that time, we were only enjoying the sight. Now we are learning the shape. Anyway, coming back to the Satsang program, there are a few questions raised by somebody, and we will see whether how it connects us with the core of our being. The question: too many people are not satisfied with their own life, work, study, society, and even with their own family and relatives. What can be said about this dissatisfaction, this great dissatisfaction, particularly with the younger ones? An increasing dissatisfaction which brings suffering, pain, anxiety, fear, stress. Life becomes a burden. This creates envy, greediness, jealousy, resentment, violence, anger. And his life is better than my poor one. His dharma is much better than mine, and so on and so on. So what is the right medicine with no side effects? Normally, even nowadays you can find in the container of the medicine side effects. So here they want a medicine which has no side effects. So whenever we hear this list, suffering, pain, anxiety, fear, stress, and the like. On the face of it, we can say that these are the signs of grumblings and complaining. That is why we are not satisfied with that. We are not comfortable with that. That is why when children are at an impressionable age, it is better to kindle, touch and bring out some values in them. What could be the antidote for grumblings and complaining? First, let us see what all we have, so that we will not focus on what we don't have. If we are fully satisfied with what we have, then its impact will save us from grumbling and complaining. This will slowly lead us to interconnectedness and interdependence. Even our existence is because so many people have contributed towards it. Initially we will see like this. Later on we will see the finger of God behind. How father and mother brought us up. The education institution that helped us to move from stage to stage and made us feel we can do this, we can do that. Then the professional career, where we try to bring out what has been assimilated, what has been absorbed in us. Think what all we have, what all we have, what all we have. The moment the grumbling comes, we must be able. The food we eat, it is not cultivated by us. So many people have put in their effort. Hardly anyone becomes aware of it, especially the modern youth. They only know the food articles are coming from malls or shops. They haven't had the opportunity to know how grains, pulses and whatnot, vegetables are cultivated. What are all the cultural operations behind it? What are all the sacrifices made by how many people? Many people have put in their effort. Even the clothes we wear, the slippers we wear, the school where we study, the field of employment, nothing is created by us. So many people have directly or indirectly contributed. When we become aware of their contribution, we realize our interconnectedness and interdependence. To some extent, the me and mine factor will reduce. And slowly we will see everywhere the positive aspects. Oh, I have been blessed with this. I have been fortunate to have this. Instead of thinking, I don't have this, I don't have that, you will start recognizing what all you have, what all you have been blessed with through Mother Nature and society. Only by this you will be able to free ourselves from grumbling and complaining. We have shared this experience in the first time, but it is worth repeating it again. When Puja Swamiji was there, we were on a tour to South Kerala. So when we reached Cochin, so many ashram devotees came there. We were camping with Justice Tulsidas. So many people, when they come to know that Puja Swamiji has come, they bring fruits, see so many things, So the gathering dispersed. So many things were there. What are we to do with that? So we check up. Is there any old age home or orphanage or school for the mentally handicapped, physically handicapped, so that we can go and give it? Immediately they said yes, it is run by a missionary. So we took the vehicle to call these fruits and everything. The nephew today is the son-in-law also. That is, both of us went there. As soon as we stopped the car, we got out, and then one nun came out. Then we told them that we are coming from Anandashram, which is in Anandashram. Our Puja Swamiji has come. So many fruits are there that have to be distributed to your inmates. Will you kindly accept it? She immediately smiled. She stood before our eyes. She smiled and said, you have to distribute. So we took the basket, everything, and went there. She immediately made an announcement in the fairly big hall. Hey, look here, this is a word. Hey, look here. Somebody has come all the way from Kanyangar to see you all and give you. Here, actually, that was not. She interpreted in such a way. Later on only we came to know why she mentioned. Everybody assembled there. So she said, you give apple or something. Each and everyone when we give, they were full of joy. And when it was over, she said, no, one more category is there. They are not in a position to move about. They are bedridden. Each one will be in an enclosure. So we went there. She made us to give the same food. They are not in a position even to hold the food. But still, she wanted us to go and meet everybody. And then we handed her. It was a very touching scene. Later on she came and said, why I asked you to go and distribute them? They have been sitting here only, living here only. Their old life will come, grumblings and complaints, this will be there. Only by seeing the love, it will get reduced. When they come to know there are people who care for them, their own mind which has created this grumbling and complaining will slowly reduce. That is visible in their body language. Each one was so happy to receive it. So this grumbling and complaining, always we suggest, suppose somebody has got this grumbling, monthly one, suppose they make a regular visit to such institution. Give them some chocolate or whatever is possible. Or a piece of bread or a biscuit. What matters is not what we give. What matters is that we make them know that we are interested in their care, in their well-being. This quality, care and concern for others will weigh in their mind. Otherwise, just imagine, suppose one sits in the same place for a number of weeks, months, years. He will be rolling in his own, He has a wall before. He or she has got a wall set up. So the other positive things will not enter into. Unless we start seeing the entire world. And what am I? Even my very existence is because of what has been provided. That is the only way to get over this grumblings and complaints. Sense of inadequacy, sense of incompleteness. This does not mean that we should not become innovative or creative. I have been blessed this, I don't have this, I don't have that. You will start recognizing that what all you have and what all you have been blessed with. Only by this we will be able to free ourselves from grumblings and complaints. This does not mean that we should not become innovative or creative. We should become creative. We should become innovative. But the motivation comes because we should feel that Mother Nature and society have given us a lot, so we should also pay back. In what form can I pay back? By bringing out the latent potentialities in me. So I bring out the excellence and efficiency in me, in whichever line I am to deliver. So the innovative, creative ideas come out of us and it helps the society also. And this journey itself will become joy. So instead of having this negativity in our heart, our mind will be dwelling on all sorts of positive diversions. Only this way we will be able to get ourselves freed from everything. We will start redefining our own life. Life's whole purpose is to bring out this creativity in us as a payback to what we have been taking. Then we come to work, we will then bring out the maximum efficiency in us. We should not merely feel that I have done my work, but I should feel I have done my best. I have to improve myself, and nobody can improve oneself straight away. Trial and error method will be there. Suppose we want to learn to ride a bicycle, how many times we fall? But after that we get the balance. So by perseverance, undaunted effort, always we will become positive in our life. Then study. Studies help us to bring out this creativity. So education is only to make us aware of what is latent, if we are not aware. Some tools are there, some subjects are there, some process is there, by which we try to go deep within, and then we find God has given us immense possibilities. And He provides all these things outside. But the perspective is important. He has given us to serve His creation. That is the idea. Not me and them. He has given this expertise or skill, whatever we call it, to serve His creation. In that process, I may be accepting some remuneration or something like that, because I have to live. But the thrust is on doing it with perfection, efficiency. Near our vehicle port, near our ashram, there is a oil extracting shop. You go there with copra and he will give you the coconut oil, like that, whatever you do, immediately he will do it. He and his wife, nobody else is there. But when you go there, suppose you ask for 5 liters, he will ask, normally how much you give? He doesn't want you to store for a longer time. It will go. Suppose the copra you have brought is of substandard quality, he will not accept. He said, the oil comes out of it, goes to many. So he doesn't purely view it as a business. We have gone there personally, and we saw this. Somebody came and asked for 20 liters or something, fresh. Then he asked, why do you require 20 liters? Normally, as a businessman, you will immediately give it, no? But you will ask, why? No, we have got a function. Okay. Otherwise, don't buy it. Whatever you feel like you buy, always it is there, Why should you buy it immediately? And then anything, whenever before we put it into the expeller, you have to ensure the quality, because not only that it will be a spoiled one, it will spoil the rest of the oil. Then I pour it into the barrel. So that much, commitment. God was showing us, it is practically possible. That is his business, that is his vocation, that is his earning line, but still, it is not that he has got big business. He is very happy, contented. He and his missus comes in the morning, spends about 3-4 hours, goes back. Very near his house is there. But that is perfect. And the moment suppose we go there to buy 1 liter of coconut oil, you can see the aroma of coconut oil. So life's purpose is going to bring out this creativity. Enough as a payback to what we have been taking. Then we come to work. We will then bring out maximum efficiency. So these studies, training, help us to bring out the creativity in us. So we will have a positive approach. We will be motivated to take a studious life because we know what all can be brought out. All the creature comfort we are enjoying today, it has all come out from this only. Some groundwork is necessary. The study definitely helps us. As we earlier said, we should keep on bringing this dimension. So many people have directly or indirectly struggling hard to give me food today. The clothes, the slippers, everything the society is giving me. And the family and relatives, your parents gave you a platform called a sense of individuality. You can pass these comments. And how you were looked after by the family. So you become grateful to them. Every time you feel a sense of gratitude overwhelming you, that will nullify the effects of the negativity. This is very important. Every moment of our life, this is the truth. When Papa said spirituality that cannot be applied in actual life is no spirituality. We were thinking, we have found some other concept about it. Not that. Spirituality means the one common denominator, spirit in everybody. Spirituality deals with that. So whatever I think, whatever I do, whatever I talk, should be in conformity with this idea. So this me to be, slowly stepping. From me to me, these gradually raise ourselves to me to be. Not because somebody told us. God has given us the intellect to rationalize this and to understand. A touch of love, a touch of gratitude, a touch of dedication will be there in all that we think, in all that we talk, in all that we do. Towards that particular time of involvement, we may not be able to remember. During the rest of the time, suppose we keep on hammering this to ourselves, I am what I am today because of the factors other than me. You can see the change in us, marvelous change. Whenever we meet with any situation where somebody does something or says something which is detrimental to us, we will be able to passively react to it, non-violently. Then slowly we will find the dissatisfaction fading. So in a nutshell, what is more important is, let us try to understand interconnectedness and interdependence. And our whole life should be a payback. It is for all that we have been taking so far from day one in this world. Suppose we become conscious of this. How do I pay back? How do I pay back? I will ensure that all thoughts that well up in my mind, all the words that I utter, all the work that I do are in line with this dictum, paying back. Qualitatively enriching myself in all these things. Qualitatively enriching. You don't simply do anything. You bring the quality. Somebody used to write to us, you would like to visit ashram, or you would like to spend quality time with. Not this halfway from passing by your mind, no. Quality care and concern. So qualitatively enriching myself in knowledge. So an increase in dissatisfaction, it may be there, suffering may be there, anxiety may be there, fear may be there, stress may be there, but underneath that, we will find an electrifying effect when we know this interconnectedness and interdependence. Whatever we have now said, it may be at the superficial level. Not that we will not be having fear. We will get stressed. Stressed not because of despair, but because of our desire to make things more perfect. Yeah, we will be restless. Even if others say it is okay, we will not stop. It is not okay for us. We don't blame them. Our priority is something different. We should be foolproof. Whatever we have now said, it may be everywhere we are motivated to bring out the best in us. So in that process, all these emotions may appear, but these are not negative emotions, but positive emotions. Life will never be treated as a burden. And when do we treat it as a burden? When it is useless, is it? When we come to know that each one has contributed. Similarly, I am also capable of giving it back. And God has given me the needed potentiality, the needed field of action. We have before us a galaxy of people who have been doing this. How can we say it is a burden to us? No doubt, at certain moments we may feel it, but we will get over it. And as rightly pointed out, the dissatisfaction breeds or is instrumental in bringing out all the negative tendencies, envy, greed, jealousy, anger. If this interconnectedness and interdependence is understood properly, if at the right age it is touched and brought out, these negativities will not be there. So the only right medicine with no side effect is try to think of what all we have, what all we have been blessed with, and how can we pay it back.
How to pay back?
That's what we are saying. Now bringing all quality in whatever we think, whatever we talk, whatever we do. Quality. So that the recipient will have the fullest benefit. It is not limited to our kith and kin. We come to ashram to bring in this dimension. We are not blaming the people who don't associate with these thoughts. God has not given them the opportunity to see something beyond our personal life. But here God has drawn us, not only to this ashram, any spiritual institution, any spiritual Mahatma. So we associate, we go there not to be the same stage of ourselves. We are trying to expand ourselves. Why? Because here we are taught we owe everything to Him through His creation. So then my life should become a payback. And when I go back from the ashram, whatever field He gives me, family, profession and society, I must always feel like, is it a payback? Is it a payback? Is it a payback? Or I am doing it only to satisfy my sense organs, or only to me and mine, or if it is becoming self-centered, then naturally all these things will come. Again I try. One fine morning it will not come. By hearing this from the Mahatma repeatedly, when we go through Papa's one quotation, to love all is the true bhakti of God and to serve all is the real worship of God. Suppose we treat it as a quotation, okay, we can reproduce it. But why? Why does he say that to love all is the true bhakti of God? Because He is the giver, He has not given anything direct to us. He has given only through His creation. Only through the creation, the Creator functions. So as a part of the creation, I first serve and love the creation. Automatically that will enable me to love the Creator later on. This is the playback. So those who have been attracted by Mahatmas and those who have been attracted to spiritual institutions, those who keep in touch with, they keep on bringing this dimension through so many forms. And their own life is a testimony for us. Today morning we went for a small function, Bhumi Puja. One boy who was studying in the high school, who is an artist, draws beautiful caricatures, painting. Suddenly he passed away. And then everybody came to know that they don't have even a house. Immediately, somebody was kind enough to send it through WhatsApp or something. The initiative gained momentum. Somebody came forward and gifted 5 cents in a beautiful place. And people started contributing. They raised the needed amount. So they wanted the Bhumi Puja to be done. God gave us a wonderful opportunity to be with them. We take it, it is a reminder to us as a sadhaka. We should take it as this opportunity has been given to know how people are happy, those who have been with that movement. So the parents, of course, they were in tears when we called them small children. But rest of them are full of joy in the sense, we have been able to do something. Many people came. Therefore, when we see to love God is the true bhakti of God, to serve God is the real worship of God. To do that, we have been asked to do the rehearsal at temples and ashrams. There we see an image, we superimpose the Almighty Lord of the universe, and then we love and serve through bhakti. The same thing is to be extended to His creation as well. Not merely to the deity, to His creation as well. Then automatically He will receive it. To know that we are asked to go to temple, to expand ourselves. Because ultimately we owe everything to His creation. We owe everything to the Creator through His creation. Again, we should know that. If today we had our breakfast, dinner, everything is a gift of somebody. If we can read, if we can use the language, everything, there is not a single thing which we can boast. So today's topic is freeing from grumblings and complaints. How to get over that. The only thing is to think about the positive side. We will not allow any negative tendencies to creep in. It may shake us, anything that is happening, it will disturb us. But in the shortest possible time, we should be able to pull us up. Try to do as much as we can to ameliorate the condition of others. Because we take it as a field given to us. When you say to love all and to serve all, there should be a field, So when somebody comes and says something, though we are little disturbed, we immediately take it as an opportunity for us to love them and serve them. This is spirituality in workplace. This is very, very important. And this, if this is told, if this is highlighted during our impressionable age, then we will have the strongest foundation in our life. Because the me to be will not be there much. As it is, unknowingly parents or teachers or our social system contribute only to thicken this me and mine. Whenever we are told we owe something back to the society. So we have developed, I should become this, I should become that, I should have this, I should have that. This is how we have all been brought up. So it is a tough job. Let's say we say at the impression of the age if this is passed on. It will have the strongest foundation in life and no negativity will touch us. Everywhere we will see the positive side of it. We will be rather insulated from all negativity. Even if somebody talks about depression, negativity or exploitation, we will not treat like that. God has to unfold and bring them what all we have. Potential, we are potential dynamos, as Swami Vivekananda. One soothing look, one a kind and gentle word, a small, tiny little act of service, that is enough to make somebody happy. And what a joy it gets when we know that they have been able to enjoy because of this. So trying to think about it, again we come back. So Ram Nam should enable us to free ourselves from grumblings and complaints. And that can come only when we think about God, Creator. Through Creator we remember about the creation. Through creation we remember about how we are taken care of by the creation. So again, so Ram Nam helps us. If all these dimensions are there, our Ram Nam becomes very, very effective. A touch of love, a touch of dedication, a touch of reverence, a touch of gratitude, that will slowly build up. No matter whether we are working for somebody, whether we are cooking for somebody, whether we are talking for somebody, or this impact will be there. So we pray to Papa for having facilitated to go through all these thoughts, to make it a reality in our life. During the sober moments, happiest moments, it's very nice to hear all these things. But at the time of going through severe tests, I should be reminded. We used to hear, slogas from Bhagavad Gita. Ma Manusmara Yujeta. Remember me and fight the battle of life. So these thoughts should come. When I am in the battle of life, I may see grumblings and complaints. Not only, I may not be having it, but I may see somebody having grumblings and complaints. Immediately think about it. Why don't you please think about it? Umpteen number of people have taken initiative to bring. Before we close, we will share one more incident. Probably we will have shared. You see, somebody thought, sometime during late 90s, something we cannot imagine, the fate of the prisoners, children of the prisoners in Bangalore. Just imagine. And that person, after retirement, he went to the jail, collected the details of the prisoners and their village, their background, went to that particular village, located the children, saw the innocent people. He went to the local advocate, threw them to the magistrate, explained his ideal, then some formalities are there. He said, I want them to be completely cut off from their past, so that they can have a new lease of life. The stigma they carry, is the son of a murderer, the son of a thief, son of a culprit. That should not be there. And then we brought them to Bangalore. He had a big building, first floor and second floor. He moved to the ground floor and first floor. He moved to the first floor. The ground floor, a lot of space is there. That was set apart exclusively for this. Then we came to know and we were asked to go there. When we went there, was there about 50-60 children at that time. And though he was not a believer in the traditional manner, he said, today you have come on the Ram Navami day to start Ram Nam for them. I will see that they chant Ram Nam. And so then we all sat together, chanted Ram Nam. They also chanted Ram Nam. It left a deep impression. We have been having contact with him. He is no more now. Then only we realize high is the limit for service, Innovative creativity, the creativity, just imagine. Nobody can imagine. You may pay some money and keep quiet, that's all. That's what we do normally, When somebody is in trouble, we can do something financially. But to actually get involved in that particular work and do something great. When we start thinking about such incidents in our life, our personal grumbling and complaint will move out. These are some of the practical tools. So whenever you are in any place, suppose you make a visit to such an institution, it leaves a very deep impact in us. So much so, we suddenly realize, what a privileged condition in which God has placed me. And He has placed before us such institution. It is not a theory. We can go there, see for ourselves. And the quality work, qualitatively enriching our life, we could see that. How happy the couple was, at that time. Tell us. He has taken the biggest risk. When people say that when their parent wants to see their children, they will be asked to go on parole. Somebody has to sign there and give guarantee. This man will go and sign, but somebody asks, suppose they don't go back. He said, if we think too much, we will not do anything. Such of his commitment. We have come here also. Very noble person. Money. So, filling our mind with such institutions and such people, then suddenly we realize, oh, this is the way they have done. What am I doing? And to that extent, our personal grumbling and complaint will not be there or will be reduced. These are some of the practical tools with spirituality in day-to-day life. Let us try to imbibe as much as possible. Dwell on it and free ourselves from the clutches of any such negative tendency. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम हरि ओम।